Safe streets, vibrant neighborhoods, successful business and commerce. These are things that make a healthy community. We are a diverse community, rural, suburban, urban. A multitude of languages and ethnicities, ages and experiences. We are a collaborative community. Public-private partnerships make us a model community that others want to follow. It is what makes us unique. It is what makes us strong. The employees of Kent County reflect our diversity and seek to serve our communities.
People in this county, in this area, we wrap our arms around each other. We come together to collaborate, to solve problems. We're all working for the good of the whole. And I think that's wonderful. And you can see it. You can see it as you drive around Kent County.
Our impact starts the day a baby is born and a birth certificate is issued, to protecting children from deadly diseases through vaccination, to the public safety and justice provided by law enforcement and the courts, to offering veteran services and caring for the elderly. Every day we work to keep our communities robust.
I think if you are somebody who's interested in serving your community, in building a strong knowledge base and a good group of people to work with, then the county is one of your best employment opportunities out there. It's been completely rewarding in every way I could possibly explain for 26 years, and I feel like I grow every single day still today.
Leading these dedicated employees, our 19-member Board of Commissioners and our County Administrator Controller, along with our elected officials and appointed department directors, placing emphasis on civic involvement, quality housing, vibrant neighborhoods, and strong, solid infrastructure to allow businesses to thrive. Professional, dedicated, collaborative, and innovative.
Behind the scenes, collaboration between foundations, charitable organizations, nonprofits, for-profit businesses, public sector demonstrated through the county, the city of Grand Rapids, the townships, all the cities and the villages in our area. If we don't come together, then we will not have the strength that we have today, and I only hope to build upon that.
Our aim is to make our communities the best they can be. We are involved in exciting development projects, sustainable recycling programs, and creative progressive prevention programming. We partner with elected officials, impacting policy ideas that become great achievements. We seek opportunities to reach out into the community and offer our services to help our residents make Kent County thrive.
Our relationship is solid, both from a staff standpoint at the county level as well as the Board of Commissioners. And they understand what we do and the benefits that we can do for the community, and vice versa. We couldn't do what we do without the help of Kent County.
While most of us are busy running our lives, Kent County's elected officials, administrator controller, and over 1,600 employees are serving the communities where we live our lives, so we can all have a place we are proud to call home. Kent County, its life well run.
That was going to be one of my reminders. Thank you. Any members of the public wishing to listen to the proceedings or provide public comment remotely may do so by using the internet link or phone numbers and passcode below. That's in the agenda. Closed captioning is available via an internet connection. Those wishing to provide input or ask questions in advance of the meeting regarding business to come before the Legislative and Human Resources Committee may submit the input or questions to publiccomment@kentcountymi.gov. So again, this is a hybrid format. Just a couple of reminders. As I visibly demonstrated, I didn't intentionally, but I did, be sure to push the button on your microphone if you're going to speak. in order to activate your mic, and then when you are done, push it again to mute. We are separated by these screens, but we are asked to continue to comply with CDCC regulations and guidelines, and that means continuing to use your mask, social distancing, and the like. We have available seating for the public here, though we have a limitation on what this room can accommodate. I don't think today we are exceeding that limitation, but if we were to do that, there are ancillary rooms here where other members of the public can participate in the meeting. So the other thing I'm going to talk a little bit about is hands up for those who are virtually. We do have a number of our members who are participating virtually, and then I will ask them to go through a roll call to comply with the OMA. But make sure that you get your hands up, and then either Pan or Natasha will advise us that a hand is up for purposes of participating or asking a question. So with that, for those that are participating by virtual engagement, if you can identify yourself and indicate where you are participating from or where you are. And we'll start with my screen, which is Michelle.
Morning. I am in Kentwood, Michigan.
Right. Thank you. Michelle McLeod is participating from Kentwood, and Commissioner Hennessy.
Good morning. I am in Grand Rapids.
I don't see it on my screen, but I believe Commissioner Skaggs.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Phil Skaggs, East Grand Rapids, Kent County, Michigan.
Okay. And is that all of our virtual attendees? All right, great. All right, let's move to the agenda items, then starting with public comment. Is there anyone from the public? I don't see anyone here in person, so is there anyone online that wishes to address the committee? I will be dependent on staff to tell me whether that's the case.
There are no messages in the Kent County, the public comment, kentcountymi.gov email address inbox.
See one note of a chat, is that?
There are no hands raised in the chat.
Okay. All right, let's move to the next item, which is approval of the minutes. The work session for March 23, 2021. Is there a motion to approve? Support. Moved by Commissioner Teal, supported by Commissioner Coleman. Any discussion? If not, I think we're required to do a roll. We might as well do it across the board since some of our members are participating virtually.
Commissioner Burrow,
Yes.
Commissioner Hennessy,
Yes.
Commissioner Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner LeGrand,
Yes.
Commissioner McLeod,
Yes.
Commissioner Ponstein,
Yes.
Commissioner Skaggs,
Yes.
Commissioner Teal,
Yes.
Chair Steck.
Yes.
That motion passes.
All right, let's move to the next item, which is a report from Representative Thomas Elbert from the 86th District. This is a new process that we are using. As many of you know, we typically would have meetings with our legislators to discuss directly face-to-face with them some of our issues and priorities and have that kind of exchange. In this environment, that's not been possible, so we're attempting to review with a number of our legislators, asking them to present to the committee directly. So we're going to try this and see how this works. And Representative Albert, you are the first guinea pig, so thank you so much for participating and being willing to do this. As with the public, any participation may be virtually, and that is what you've opted to do, so thank you for that. Representative Albert is chair of the appropriations, so it seemed like the most appropriate place to start with this process. So good morning and welcome.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me and for letting me speak to you all today. There is I would say an unusually large amount of appropriations work that's been going on this year, and that will be continuing on throughout the rest of the year. As you may remember, in December, the federal government passed a COVID relief package. We had the first supplemental bill package that we passed earlier this year. I think it ended up being roughly just over $2 billion that was appropriated and signed into law. But since that has happened, the federal government has now passed $1.9 trillion, and the state's getting $10 to $11 billion of that. Not all of it needs to be appropriated by the state. So you get about $4 billion that's going to go to local governments. A large number of that will just go straight to the local government. But those that don't have community block grants will need to have an appropriations process that goes through the state legislature to get that money out the door to them. There's about $1 billion of that goes to schools. There's about $5 billion that little over that the state can appropriate for COVID-related things, and also for sewage and water treatments and things of that nature. So there's in some areas there's more flexibilities for spending that money, but in a lot of ways it still needs to be COVID-related. Another thing that's a bit different than before, the first half of that funding, so about $2.5 billion, can be appropriated this year. The other half of it becomes unlocked next year, so next March, and then we have 3 years to spend it or it goes back. So it's, we have a time frame. We have to make sure that we have a plan and it's reasonable and will help us get through this challenging time. But we do not need to spend it all at once. I'm getting very, very concerned from a macroeconomic standpoint with inflation. We're already seeing it in different areas of our economy. The most notable I think people are seeing is lumber. If you want to build a house right now, I already know of people that have canceled their plans. A house that would have cost maybe $200,000 now to build is now $300,000. I actually went and bought about 3 pieces of lumber to put a raised garden bed in my house, and I could not believe what I was seeing when I was walking through the lumber yard for prices. So that's just one example. I say that as kind of as an example of why we need to be cautious for throwing, for putting this money out there. We don't want to just throw it out and have all of the cash throughout the nation competing for the same projects, competing for the same products at the same time. That will drive up inflation very quickly. So I just want to be very thoughtful about how we do it. Outside of the large amount of federal dollars that we have, we still have a normal budget process that we need to go through. So I expect that in the legislature, both the House and the Senate should be moving shortly, I'd say within the next month, with our first steps of having subcommittee hearings and having the budget start there. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm happy to answer any questions on anything if I can.
Thank you so much. We'll see if any of our commissioners have questions or comments. Any? Doing such a fantastic job and flying under the radar. Good. Anything on the virtual? Well, it is no doubt a tumultuous time to be in Lansing and undertaking all of that. It is also a process that has an awful lot of challenges. We know that, and so we appreciate your hard work and your contribution to helping us get through all of this. So thank you so much for participating.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
All right, let's move to item number 4, Administrator Office Purchase of Development Rights Selection Criteria for 2021. Wayne, will you introduce that?
Sure. This is a request to the Board of Commissioners to approve the 2020-21 Kent County Purchase of Development Rights Selection Criteria, the Purchase of Development Rights Ordinance adopted by the Board of Commissioners in 2002, established procedures for the administration of the PDR program, and mandated annual Board of Commissioners approval of the selection criteria. At their March 3rd meeting of 2021, the Agricultural Preservation Board approved the selection criteria to be used to rank and prioritize PDR applications and recommended their adoption by the Board of Commissioners. This year, the Agricultural Preservation Board seeks to align the PDR selection criteria with information and points commensurate with the largest and most consistent grant streams available. The selection criteria considers such factors as environmental stewardship, succession planning, and proximity to other public or private preserved land, as well as points for veterans and farmers of limited means. The Agricultural Preservation Board intends to seek funding in 2021 to preserve qualifying farmland through the PDR application process from various sources, including landowner donations, township contributions, and grants from the Michigan Agricultural Preservation Fund and the USDA Agricultural Conservation Easement Program and the Wegge and Fry Foundations.
All right, is there a motion to approve this resolution? Moved by Commissioner.
So moved, Skaggs.
I think it was moved by Commissioner LeGrand and supported by Commissioner Skaggs. Any discussion? Yes, Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Chair. Those who have been on the Board of Commissioners for a while have heard me say this each year. I'll say it again for the new commissioners and the public. Given just my personal opposition to some of the fundamental parts of the PDR program, I'm a no on this, but not because of the details of the scoring system here. I think it's the details are well thought through. These have been fairly stable over time, and Matt Channing from the staff and the Agricultural Preservation Board are actually doing some work to further align these scoring systems with some of the other scoring systems from the federal government, et cetera. So they're doing some good work there, but I will be a no just due to that opposition to some of the fundamental parts of PDR.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments or questions? Any online?
There are no hands raised.
I do have a follow-up question, Wayman. Is there any material difference or actually any difference at all from the criteria for last year?
I think there is, but let's have Matt, if you're online.
Good morning,
Matt
Commissioner.
Channing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So after doing a review of the state grant, the federal grant, and our own selection materials, we, in general, awarded points to the same things in roughly the same amounts. It's the details on the edge where we really tried to create a greater alignment. And these are things like awarding points for environmental planning, for conservation planning, for succession planning, and small points for the one big thing was the veteran status. So by and large, 25% of the points are still going to prime soils or size of the parcel. We're still keeping a lot of the same proximity to roads. It's mostly trying to capture points we were missing on the outsides, and then increasing the total number of points awarded so that we can have more nuance in our scoring.
Okay. So it doesn't sound to me like there's a radical or a significant shift in what properties are likely to be selected.
That is a correct assessment. Yeah, we're not massively overhauling the direction we're taking this. It's just trying to be more succinct in capturing points.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, will you take the roll, please?
Sure. Commissioner Burrow.
No.
Commissioner Hennessy.
Yes.
Commissioner Coleman.
No.
Commissioner LeGrand.
Yes.
Commissioner McLeod.
Yes.
Commissioner Ponstein.
Yes.
Commissioner Skaggs.
Yes.
Commissioner Teal. Chair Steck.
Yes.
That motion passes.
All right, thank you. Next item is miscellaneous. Does any commissioner have a miscellaneous item? Commissioner Ponstein?
Thank you, Chair Steck. I don't know, I saw that Becky was still on the Zoom call because I want to direct maybe a question to her, if she is.
I am.
Becky, we heard Representative Albert talk and give us a brief overview. Where are we at with infrastructure, roads and bridges, and where is that in a priority list for the legislature? Because, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of differing opinions. Is that going to be addressed or not?
Well, clearly, the one piece we do know is the governor had proposed significant funding for repair of bridges in her proposal. What we don't know is how the Senate and the House will respond. And I guess the time frame that Representative Albert referred to, which I think is happening sooner, I think the subcommittees are going to start reporting their bills out probably in the next week or two. And we can take a look at the Transportation Subcommittee to see what the House and the Senate, whether they have agreed with the governor in spending additional resources on the road, on the bridges specifically. Have they added money to it? And that's something also that I think you could see addressed when he referenced the $5 billion that the state has with really very little pointed direction towards it. He had referenced the $1 billion towards schools and the $4 billion towards local governments, but there's $5 billion that states can do that with. That's an opportunity there where where the legislature and the governor could agree to put additional resources in. I think that's still to play out time-wise.
Thank you.
All right, any other miscellaneous? Right, if not, just to report that I've asked Commissioners Ponstein and Coleman and Hennessy to serve in an interview team for purposes of addressing the open position for the LRE Oversight Policy Board. We have one position open, and so they have been asked to go ahead and do the interviews or reviews and come back with a recommendation at our next meeting. So thank you for that, and we look forward to that. With that, I have nothing else. Again, thank you all for coming in or participating. Just again underscore that this is our first hybrid meeting at the county, and so I think so far it's gone well. And reminding individual participants and commissioners that under that system, you are able to attend either in person or virtually, depending upon your circumstances. All we ask is that you keep us advised of which way you're going. With that, we are adjourned.
I am Kent County.
I am Kent County. I am Kent County.
We are 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 Kent County.
Beya, Kent County. Ami, Kent County.
Somos Kent County.
Mas Ira, Kent County.
We are Kent County. We are Kent County. We are Kent County. Oh yeah.